Welcome back, friends. All right, in this video, I want you to take a deep breath, focus on the cards, and I want you to pick a pile, okay? Pile 1, Unbound. Pile 2, Trust Your Path. So take a deep breath and choose your pile. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with pile number 1. If you chose pile number 1, Unbound, here are messages that you need to hear, okay? Unbound. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. It is time to release old soul stories that have been playing out in your life. They are coming up to be healed. There has never been a safer time to clear these patterns than right now. Take a look at patterns in your life that you are ready to release. Ancient vows and contracts that your soul made that have an expiry date. It could be a vow of silence or chastity or poverty. It is time to unwind from them. This is the life in which you free yourself from trauma of lives past. What old ways of being have an expiry date? When you name them, you claim them, and they stop holding power over you. When acknowledging these old patterns, it is also important to acknowledge how they have served you up until now. For example, a soul pattern of playing small caused by a soul fear of being seen or sharing your voice would have served you by keeping you safe. In order to grow, you now need to soften by receiving and calling in support. It is time to unbind from the old ways of being that are no longer sustainable. Wow. That is really, really, really powerful. Okay. So let's see. What do the viewers that picked pile 1 need to release? What do the viewers that picked pile number 1 need to release? Okay. What do they need to release? Viewers that chose pile 1. So if you chose 1, I feel like some of you need to release this mentality that you need to work super, super, super hard, that you need to sacrifice your life, that you need to sacrifice yourself, that you need to overburden yourself, overdo yourself, please people, always say yes. Okay, I feel like that is for someone specifically here. Okay, that you need to, please everyone in order to profit, so that you could, so that people could trust you, so that people could rely on you, and that's the way that you're going to get results. Okay. What other things do the viewers that picked 1 need to release? Okay, so I feel like for some of you, you also need to come out of isolation. Okay, remember when I was reading that some of you, I feel like you dim your light, and I feel like you need to play small because your soul fears being seen, or like sharing your voice, right? Would have kept you safe back then, right? Kept you safe. And I felt like that's like another big confirmation here for a lot of you. Like, you need to share who you are, share that beautiful energy, that beautiful light that you have. Speak your mind. Okay. There should be no reason why you should feel like you need to shush yourself, or that you need to keep yourself quiet or hidden to please others. Okay. And I feel like because of that, a lot of you are not, you're afraid of new beginnings. Okay. I feel like a lot of you are afraid of, also in like your relationships, you lack commitment, like true deep commitment, right? Because you feel like you don't want to be seen as the person who's too needy, the person who, you don't want to stay in one place for a very long time because you don't want to seem like you're extending yourself, or so on and so forth. Okay. Yeah, and just be original. Be original. There's no need also for pile number one for you to try to be careless, or to be in this like very arrogant, also daredevil, hyperactive, very like in this energy, so that others think that you're cool. Okay, there's no need for you to put on this facade that you are this like foolish, yeah, like that like youthful energy I'm getting for some of you that are older, right? Like you don't have to be something that you're not. Okay, what else do the viewers in pile number one need to release? Okay, so letting go of the past. So for somebody here, you really need to release the past. You need to focus more your energy on the future. Grow up, right, in a loving way. Grow up, right, not just obviously physically, but I mean like mentally, like really, really letting go, right, of things from your past, from your childhood, things that are no longer serving you. Right, we can't change the past. Okay, we really can't. You really have to try to focus your energy on the future. It's going to be healing. Okay, I feel like a lot of you would really benefit from tapping into like your art, your I feel like a lot of you are very creative with this pile number one. I feel like there's a lot of women in here that are mothers, or that are very sensual, that are very creative, very feminine. And I feel like your energy is very comforting, very like motherly. Okay, so I feel like you should really, I encourage you, right, to be who you are, be comfortable with who you are, be comfortable, with your own skin, with your own beauty, right? No, don't try to, fit in like others, or to make yourself seem like you're, like with like the other quad, or like the other group of people. Like you have your own beauty, you have your own talent, your own gifts that you bring to the table. And I feel like a lot of you also, for pile number one, there's this idea that you don't really see how beautiful you are, how comforting, and you don't really see your talents. And I feel like with this pile, you have such beautiful, harmonious, feminine energy. But I feel like sometimes you hide it. You hide that. Or, you don't want people to think that you are too conceited or too full of yourself or whatnot. And then there's some of you that do need to release being too over the top, thinking that you're better than others. Okay, that's for a specific group of you. Yeah, and just taking a chance. So I feel like for another group of you in here with pile number one, you do need to take a chance. Okay, life is about opportunities, it's about chances, and I feel like if you were to actually take a chance and go after those things that you really want in life, you have amazing things coming your way with the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, the only person that's holding you back is yourself. You really are. Okay, and I feel like you don't realize how talented you are and how many amazing things could be in your life, because you are too afraid of taking a chance. Okay, what is this fear about? Okay, so what is pile number one fearing? What is their fear? What is their fear? Okay, what is their fear? So I feel like some of you, like I said earlier, like there's probably a lack of confidence, or some of you might be overly confident. And I feel like for some of you also, there is this energy of people, like I feel like you guys care too much about what other people are going to think. Maybe they're going to see you as someone who's reckless or hyperactive, or someone who's like a show off, loud, or I feel like for some of you in here with like some of you might be in Aries or Leos. Like I feel like you guys are just naturally very, very confident, outspoken, but at the same time, so for some people that can be misconstrued as like, okay, this person is way too like their show off, right? And it's not, right? They're just very assertive people. Now, when you do it on purpose, though, to really try to show off, like, you know what you're doing, and you're trying to utilize it on purpose to gain outcomes or stuff like that, then yes, I can see why you should probably, work on that. But I feel like for a really big chunk of people that picks pile number one, like, I feel like you just have this very, very assertive leadership type of personality. And I feel like you are afraid of sharing that with the world, with the universe, with people, because maybe in the past people, used to criticize you or judge you or feel like you were trying to take the spotlight, or that you were, oh my God, like, she's really not all that, or he's really not all that. They just think they're, they think they're the ish and stuff like that. So, you don't need to feed into anything that anybody says. They're, just projecting their own insecurities. Okay. All right. I'm going to close pile number one's reading with an archangel therapy. Okay. What therapy or what message do the viewers that picked pile number one need to honor at this time? What do the viewers that picked pile number one need to honor at this time? Clear yourself. Ask the angels to release any toxic energies that you may have absorbed. Yeah, so I feel like a lot of this lack of period in general, and this mentality that you have that, you're kind of like just shielded, and you're still in your safe space. You don't want to, move forward and stuff like that, and this fear of starting new things, new beginnings, and actually going after these wonderful things that you are and that you embody and that you can offer, is because of the things that you have absorbed, right? Because of, projections that maybe your own parents had, right? Where they were like, no, you need to shush, you need to, you need to be quiet, you need to keep your voice down, don't talk, don't be so loud, be so proper, sit this way, eat this way, dress this way, don't do this, do that. Like, it, it's so toxic, and it starts so early on. It starts so early on when we're young, and we don't really realize how much garbage we are putting into our children's heads, that they can't be themselves, that there's something wrong with them, right? That there's something wrong with them, and that it is not okay for society to see that. So then what happens is that when we grow up and we want to go out in the world and we want to be ourselves, we can't, because we are afraid of all the crap that was filled into our heads to make us believe that, no, nobody's really going to accept me for who I am, right? So it's just food for thought, right? So this is the message for pile number one. I think it's a beautiful message about self-acceptance and about releasing who you are, right? Releasing, accepting who you are, going after. You no longer need to hold on to, things that made you feel safe back then and that are no longer a part of your soul, that don't resonate with you anymore, that have expired, that, because of past trauma or because of a past life. Like, you don't need to hold on to that stuff anymore, okay? You don't need to claim them anymore, okay? So just release. So as you release, I would like for you guys to say this prayer out loud or in your head. So in order to activate this unbound energy, I would like for you to say the following, okay? I release all old soul stories, vows, contracts, and patterns that are no longer aligned with who I came here to be in the present time. I carry the lessons, growth, and gifts, but I no longer choose to live the same story. May I be unbound, forever unbound, okay? Thank you so much. And now I'm going to move on to pile number two. Let me move this out of the way. Thank you. That was so powerful, guys. All right. Now, for those of you, pile number two, this is your message. Okay. So for those of you that chose pile number two, this is your message. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? The universe is conspiring. Keep facing your true north. Your job is not to pave the path, but to simply keep facing your true north and take one step after another. If you do this, you can't go wrong. The universe is conspiring. Don't waver or doubt. Use your heart as a compass and put one foot in front of the other. If you follow the invisible trail of what lights you up, you will light up the world without even trying. Most people don't follow the highest call of their soul because they're waiting to see the end destination before they take the first step. If you take one baby step each day, within a year, you will have taken 365 steps in your dedicated direction. If you want to write a book, write a page every day. If you want to change careers, do one thing every day in dedication to do that, right? Before you know it, in just a year from now, you will turn back and look in awe at how far you have journeyed. Keep moving and open yourself up to a whole new level of support and receiving. Things are not going to work out the way you are planning, but if you have a little faith and keep showing up, they will work out even better than you could possibly imagine. Don't micromanage the universe. Trust your path and let your soul lead the way. Okay? Beautiful message. Okay? So what messages do the viewers that picked pile number 2 need to hear? What messages do the viewers that picked pile number 2 need to hear at this time? Let's see. What messages do the viewers that picked pile number 2 need to hear? Okay. Yeah, so trust. Okay, I feel like a lot of you are very emotionally intelligent or very, very emotional. Okay, in touch with your emotional side, your emotional life. So you just need to trust, right? Trust that everything and anything is going to work out in your favor, and everything is conspiring, like our light oracle card said, is conspiring for you. Okay. If you do have delays, because I feel like for a big chunk of you, there have been a lot of delays, maybe some tension, some decisions that unfortunately led to some undesirable results, or you were hoping for things to be different. I feel like there's a reason why this stuff happened, right? Maybe there's some sort of inner, deeper knowing, something that you need to see or that needs to be revealed to you. And I also feel like for some of you, you know how I was talking about how for some of you, you're kind of like, sometimes you make certain decisions and you engage in certain things because you want to see the result rather than the process. So for some of you, I feel like that is a message for you. Like, you have to go through these delays, right? It's not about how fast you get there, but about how you get there, right? The process, the journey there's something through that journey that you're supposed to see, or that you're going to learn or be exposed to, or there's some sort of lesson or some sort of spiritual experience that you need to have through the process. Okay. But I feel like for some of you that could, it could be hard and to be patient and wait. Okay. Yeah. And I feel like sometimes there is a lot of avoidance of facing reality, right? Which is what our oracle card was talking about, because some of you don't take that first step, right? That your soul is wanting you to take, because of you're kind of like just waiting to see the end result, right? So, and due to that, I feel like it's only causing for you to be confused. You're confused. There's so much confusion, indecision in your life, because first of all, how do you know that's really what you want, right? If you haven't really taken the steps, you haven't taken the steps to get there, you never know. Through that process, you might realize, you know what, this is not really what I wanted after all. Or it might still be something you want, but there might be something else that you want to add to that, right? You could want more than one thing, right? And I feel like because you don't remove this this, this is something you really need to work on, right? Yeah, okay. I was gonna say some of you are also like might have some issues with confrontation, okay? And that could be with yourself, or it could be with others as well, okay? Yeah, and I feel like some of you are just trying to escape certain things, okay? Pile number 2. There's a like this fragile sense of identity or like personal decisions. I feel like poor boundaries, okay? So these are some things that you really need to do, like, and I feel like if you would realize that the earth is and the universe and God is in your they're there to help you and support you every step of the way. Even with these areas of confusion and these confrontation issues and these fears that you have, and these even with your avoidance of making decisions, okay? You would realize, right? And if you would trust, you would realize that things will always work out. Always. They always do. They always do. Okay. What other messages do the viewers that picked pile number 2 need to hear? What other messages? Yeah. Some of you abandon your plans way before you even like have a conceptual stage. Like you like as soon as you realize like it's gonna take way too much of my energy, way too much of my time, it's gonna be too much work, I'm gonna have to sacrifice too much or do this, do that, you withdraw, you abandon it, and you walk away, and you're like, no, forget it, that's too much work, right? But what good would it be if things were just really just handed to you? Yeah, you would get this instant gratification, right? That, oh, here it is, but you didn't work hard for it. So the gratification is different, right? It really is. And then you don't really get to experience that introspection, and you don't really get to go through the journey. I've heard of people, for example, like when they let's say for people who go through so much work to become, I don't know, a doctor, for example. I couldn't think of another example right now, but let's say a doctor, right? And they go through all of these freaking years of medical study, of research and medical school, intern, all of this stuff that they have to do. That's all great. Yeah, it's enlightening, whatever. But that's not what they really, really treasure, and what they really, it's all the nights that they were called to go into the hospital, right? It's the times when they were probably given the opportunity to go and be a doctor in, I don't know, Peru or like another country. And they got to meet different people. They were able, the journey, the experience, the fact that they were living, I don't know, in the Amazon with like other doctors from the US or from their country, and that they were able to connect and talk about their lives and talk about why they want to be doctors, and you never know, maybe they even met the love of their life there. Like, it's just the trajectory and the journey is, I feel like, something that for some of you in pile number 2 scares you, okay? Because it might take too long. Yeah, I know, especially with certain goals, it will take long. But you know what? Like, that's the whole reason why you have to go through this, so that you can go deeper within and realize if this is really what you want. If it's not, then it's fair. You can move on to something else, right? You could discover something along those lines that you might like better. Okay. What other messages do the viewers that selected pile number 2 need to hear and honor? Okay. Yeah, and I feel like I said, some of you are unable to move forward, fear of beginnings, because of this dependency or this resistance, right? Because you're like, well, it might be too hard. What if, I might not have the finances, or things might not work out in my favor, right? There's just so many biases or prejudices that you might already be kind of like fixated on, that doesn't allow you to move forward, right? And it could also be, that you're afraid that things are not going to work out the way that you planned them to or that you want them to, right? So it's all about having faith, keep showing up, right? You never know. Like I said earlier, like things might work out even better than you could possibly imagine, right? And they might lead you to places that you never realized or never thought that they would, unless you take that first step, unless you're willing, right, to work, right, and put in the work for your own benefit, right? Yeah, so those are the messages I have for pile number 2. Okay, and then I do have an angel therapy card that I want to give you guys for pile number 2. Okay, let me move this to the side. All right, what angel therapy does pile number 2 need to hear and honor? What angel therapy does pile number 2 need to hear and honor at this time? What is their recommendation? What is their suggestion? What do we get? Cancel, clear, delete. So you guys got 2 messages, okay? So use only positive words and thoughts as they're rapidly manifesting into form. Ask the angels to cancel the effects of past negative thinking. Okay, so yeah, this goes hand in hand, right, with our trusting the path, right? So believing, trusting the universe, trusting God that anything that you're trying to manifest, right, will come into effect. It will happen for you as long as you believe. But if you are starting to doubt yourself, the only thing that you're going to attract is a lot of confusion. You're going to, experience delays, setbacks, a lot of complications, obstacles, right? Because you don't really believe that you're going to get there. So you're not even going to be willing to put in that much of an effort anyway, because you're going to think, oh, it's not even going to work for me. I'm not going to get there. It's going to take way too long. I'm too old. I'm already at a certain age. I have children. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. So it's like, okay, so then don't complain, right? For those of you, pile number 2, don't complain for where you're at in life, right? If you're not really willing to put in the work and the sacrifice, and you're not really dedicated and committed to attracting all this beautiful abundance for you, don't complain about the results and where you're at in life, right? Because the only person that's really holding you back is you. You can't blame anybody else, okay? And then the second card that you got is mediumship. You have the natural ability to connect with departed loved ones, okay? So for some of you, I feel like you have this strong energy of... I feel like your ability to be assertive and your ability to... connect with people is really, really strong, and that includes mediumship, okay? However, I feel like for some of you, although you know about this ability, you think it's really exhausting, and you feel like it's going to drain too much of your time, or it's going to take away from your energy and all of this, so you would rather not deal with a lot of stuff, okay? So for some of you, I feel like you would rather put things to the side, but because you don't want to deal with it, right? It's too much. So as you if you really are interested in trying to channel this energy of trusting that everything will be conspiring in your favor, and that the world and the universe and God is supporting you and has your back, if you really want to, I do want you to repeat the following prayer, okay? Or ask yourself this question. Ask yourself the following question. If I knew that I would be supported no matter what would I do? Okay, so ask yourself, this is your homework for tonight, right? Or for today. If you knew, right, that you would be supported no matter what, and I'm talking about finances, home, career, family, life, health, everything. If you knew that you would be supported no matter what would you do? Okay, Start there. This will help you plan and really set the intention to try to navigate and figure out what is it that you really want in life. Write it down, take out a little journal or a little, paper or something, and then start thinking of all the different things that you would do, right? It's about setting the intention with confidence and knowledge and trusting, right? And this opens up this door of confidence, of trust in the universe that, you know what, this is what I want, and I believe, and I claim, and so it should be, and so it is, right? So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this pick a card reading for today, my lovelies, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.